Answer my 3 questions, and I'll answer yours.
No, I'm not playing this. Answer these 3 questions about technical.
Answer my 3 questions, and I'll answer yours.
I gave you a technical time.
I will answer his questions if he answers my 3 questions first.
Right, his argument is because I can't give an answer for a technical definition, therefore I'm not going to debate. I gave the same to you, he also can't meet it.
Not
By the same
definitions.
logic, he himself is not worthy of debating this.
Chris, I said to all the cameras, I will, God willing, answer his questions only provided that he answers my questions. Right. So now answer the question number 1.
No, you answer my
Why
question.
do we use 1950 here?
Why is a palimpsest?
Hang on. I said I will answer.
Answer now.
No, I will answer only if he answers mine.
Stop waffling.
Do you know the
Okay, I don't care. Do you know what a
answer to my question?
You don't know.
Do you know the answer to
I'm
my
not
question?
interested in attacking your character. I'm interested
Do
in
you
debating.
know the answer to my
Why are
question?
you only interested in attacking my character?
I haven't your character.
You literally said, I don't think he's even worth debating. Here's how I'm going to evaluate that he's not even worth debating.
Do you know
That's
the
an
subject
attack
matter?
on me.
Do you know the subject matter?
Chris, you call him an idiot, man. You call him an idiot.
Do you know the subject?
Him, man.
Do you know
I
the
heard
subject?
that. You call him an idiot more
I
than
did
once.
after he said this
Brother,
to me on many times.
Do you know the principles of radiocarbon dating?
Listen, I want to debate
Do you know the principles of radiocarbon
Do you know what a
dating?
palimpsest is?
I'm asking you, Chris. You're not asking me what I know. I'm asking you what you know.
Yeah, because heaven forbid I ask you a question. And
Look, the dispute is whether you know the subject.
he's going to Google what a palimpsest is.
Chris, do you know the principles of radiocarbon dating?
Why don't you debate me?
Do you know the principles of radiocarbon dating? So now, you don't know. Okay, I'm making a claim. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what a BP is.
What's a palimpsest? What's a
Okay,
palimpsest?
does he know what?
What's a palimpsest?
Does he
You asked
know
one
the
question, he
principles?
answered twice.
What's a palimpsest?
Because this discussion and debate was about whether Chris even knows about the subject matter, so he
And I
needs to
literally read
demonstrate
off
that.
about the
He
Birmingham
needs to demonstrate that.
portfolio, about when it was discovered, about what sorrows
Do
it
you know the
was,
principles?
about the
Do you know the
fact
principles?
We don't know.
In archaeology,
Do you know the principles?
you study ancient manuscripts. No, you go according to scholars.
So now,
I said, you have no idea.
evidently clear,
No idea.
evidently clear
No idea.
that he doesn't know anything.
You can destroy him.
Steve, debate Steve.
Debate him, not debate
Debate
him.
me. This is how I know you will never debate me because you will never ever win a debate.
Answer my question.
You will never. What's a palimpsest? You have demonstrated you knowledge and you have demonstrated you're afraid of debates. If you weren't, you would have just debated me.
I am
I've given him every opportunity. Every opportunity. He will answer.
Answer the question. Brother, excuse me. You're gonna go behind the camera with it? Because you're not very patient. Thank you.
Mansur here. Stop Hashim. Stop Hashim. Stop the mic. Hashim.
You got away from me. Chris. Did I say to you? Are you listening? Did I say to you? I will answer your questions only once you answer my questions. So now, answer my first question. What is?
Am I a mastermind? I don't need to answer these questions.
You need to.
I need to debate with you.
Because you haven't got a clue about radiocarbon dating. You got a clue about radiocarbon dating.
Portfolio. I told you the stories. I told you about the think is dated based on the levels of carbon.
Anyone who knows about radiocarbon dating, listen. Okay. Anyone who knows about radiocarbon dating should know the difference between 1 sigma and 2 sigma. What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference between 1 sigma and 2 sigma?
What's palimpsest?
Anyone who is sincere and genuine and knowledgeable about the subject matter of carbon dating. Let me tell you about 1 sigma and 2 sigma. The 1 sigma
Anyone
is.
who's sincere about the same topic would know what palimpsest is. So
Listen,
answer.
are you trying to ascertain my knowledge on the subject, or am I trying to ascertain your knowledge?
I'm trying to understand yours as well as you're trying to understand.
The debate wasn't for that. The debate we started from. Watch the tape. The debate we started to see whether you know the subject matter, Chris.
You get the window in the face.
Chris.
You don't go for people who are knowledgeable.
Chris. When it comes to radiocarbon dating,
Shameful.
do we take the median date?
You do the same. This has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with
Be quiet, bro.
Why should I be quiet? Too much.
Educate me. Go ahead.
You don't know.
No, educate me. Educate me.
You don't know.
I don't think you
tell you
know
what
either.
it is.
Educate me.
Alright, here we go. A palimpsest is the underlying written text that's underneath an overlaying text on a manuscript. That's what a palimpsest is.
So a palimpsest. Okay, hang on.
Guys, come on.
Wait.
Come on.
Right. Wait. So now.
You.
Good. So
Can we now have a debate?
Wait.
Can we now have a
So
debate?
you have educated me. Hang on.
Have I proved that I know enough?
No.
Oh no.
You ready?
I didn't mean.
You ready?
I lost the mastermind with Mansur.
Because now you're ready to prove to me. Now tell me, when it comes to radiocarbon dating, do we take the median? Take the median. Do the median date.
He knows he's going to lose.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Quran. That's all.
So when of your debate,
You did.
when I watched
It's an
it,
attack on me again.
listen.
It is an attack on me. I have a funny feeling it's an attack on me.
I'm just telling you what I listened to.
Okay.
So I listened to you talking about how we date through radiocarbon dating. And Chris, and you talked about median dates. So now, can you educate me? Do we take the median dates when it comes to radiocarbon dating?
Why don't you talk about the argument that I made?
Can you educate me?
The Birmingham portfolio
Can you-
has a carbon,
Listen,
radiocarbon dating that precedes that mark.
Chris, this discussion will settle that you have no clue what you're talking about. So educate me now on number 2.
Right. Made my argument.
Do we take the median date?
Let me make my argument.
Chris,
He won't let you make it.
when it comes to dating, radiocarbon dating, do we take the average?
Dude,
Do we take the average?
you're playing this whole...
No, I'm asking you. Do you know what?
You didn't know what a palimpsest was.
When did I say I didn't know?
You literally went, what is it then? And I had to
I
tell you and you went,
asked,
okay.
I asked you to educate me, right?
You didn't know my
No. I wanted to establish whether you knew. So now, I want to know whether you know about radiocarbon dating.
Right. So I just...
When it comes to, let me ask you again, one more time. When we take the date,
only one.
okay, last time then.
Can I
Very
make
good.
an argument? Fine. I'll make an argument.
How do we date? How do we date? Which date do we take?
Listen.
Which date?
Radiocarbon...
Which date do we take when it's radiocarbon dating?
Musmatch, not Tinder.
Which date do we take? Which date do we take?
Listen, carbon dating gives you a range, yes?
And which date do we take?
Listen. You can
Listen
take
carefully.
Listen.
Listen carefully.
Of that range, yes, there is a earliest range and a latest range. And this is up for debate based on what you're actually measuring. For example, the Birmingham portfolio measured the parchment.
Now, what does it mean? What did it mean earlier and later age? What does it mean?
You can take these 2 days. Now you can take an average if you wanted to. That might be
What did the scholars do?
Well, you can take an average that'd be one.
What did the scholars do?
A scholar will take this into account as one of the.
What date do the scholars take?
Another way of dating manuscripts is you look at the
What
script.
date do the
Then
scholars
you give you
take?
an answer.
Okay, listen.
So the Hijazi script is one of the earliest forms of Arabic script that we know. That's why when we look at things in a Hijazi script, like the Birmingham portfolio manuscript, we know they're early. Combined with the radiocarbon date, we can give a range. Now the range by carbon dating is between 570 and 645. That's a problem because if you take the earlier range, that means before Muhammad had a revelation in the Hira cave. That would mean the Islamic narrative is false. That's my argument. Now address that argument.
What date?
Having up to 30 minutes.
Wait. Chris.
You're going to address my
So, listen carefully now. So, no. We have asked that. Right. So now,
address my argument.
you talked about
I said something, now
Chris,
what's your response?
the earlier range and the later range.
Right.
What do they mean?
There are the possible ranges of which from that test, and the test can be wrong because you can do multiple carbon dating tests.
What does it
So I'm literally explaining what
Oh, you're explaining. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so again, there are different tests that you can do, and some will give different results. But the general premise is that you can say that this is evidence for a particular range dating. Yes. Okay. Understand?
So,
right. So one of them.
Look, clarify to educate me on this. So, can we take any date from
Why am I
this range?
teaching this guy? I just wanted a debate.
Hey.
Now he's like,
Chris,
PowerPoint.
Chris,
Shall I start doing a PowerPoint presentation?
Chris, can we take any date from the range?
You can take anything from there as being a potentiality, yes.
Yeah. So, what about taking the range at the middle? Yeah. What do the scholars do?
Listen, well, it depends, because certain scholars...
Any scholar.
So, for example, there are Islamic scholars that don't...
No, any scholar.
Listen to what I'm saying. So, the Uthmanic copy came from when? Do you know this? Where did Uthman produce his Uthman
So when it comes to
copy?
taking the date, When it comes to the dates, the scholars take. Wait. When the scholars take the dates.
When was it?
When we date any Quranic manuscripts or any manuscripts, radiocarbon dating, right?
When was the Uthmanic
Listen,
copy?
I am answering.
Okay, tell me.
Right, listen. Move back a little bit. Okay. So when we have the scholars, do they take the median date at the middle?
Well, no, you can take any point within that range.
I'm asking you, do the scholars
You can take any point. So, for example,
listen, Chris, can I clarify my question too? Is that okay? Is that okay to clarify the question?
I asked you about Uthman because that was
Do the scholars take a median dating?
There are different ways you can do it.
I'm asking you.
One way is you can take
Name me a scholar who takes the average. Name me a scholar who does.
You can do it.
Name me a scholar who says you can.
There are other scholars that take the parts within that date.
Name me a scholar who can.
Dude, that's not my argument.
Wait. No. What I'm establishing, Chris, perhaps you didn't know, because this is being on tape. So
Well, you don't know a lot of things. You don't know what
Listen,
palimpsest is.
wait.
You don't know when Uthman boys got.
I didn't say I didn't know about palimpsest.
No, you wait until I told you, and then you went. Oh,
No, I wanted you to tell me. Likewise, Chris. Likewise, I want you to tell me what the scholars say about taking the median.
There are some scholars
Like who?
that take any point.
Like who?
So, Dr.
Try again. Google it or take a new note, because I want to know what the scholar. I want to know the scholar who says you can take one date from that range.
I'm not making an argument.
You said you understand radiocarbon dating. There are scholars who will take one particular
There are
date.
also scholars that will.
Wait. I want to talk about.
Dude, you can't make me say something on.
Why are you watching TV?
I'm telling
No,
you.
I want to know, Chris.
Can I make an argument?
I want to know which scholar. No, you can, but I want to know first of all. Which scholar? Please tell me. The whole
I'm
world
not
want to know.
interested on being in your question show.
Which scholar says it's okay to take one date within this range?
Scholars have a varied opinion about what point you take the date. Do you understand?
Can you take any one date from this?
Within the range, yes. Because it's within the range of the carbon dating. As long as it doesn't contradict other evidence. Yes. Listen, no, I need to give an answer.
Before you answer,
I can't give an answer to you. Let me answer. Okay.
Answer.
The
Please answer.
Uthmanic copy, you know when that came about?
Educate me. Right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to let you ask, because I don't think you know. I don't think you know.
Carry on.
And I'm
Tell me.
sick of having to, like...
Tell me.
I'm sick of
Tell me.
saying I don't know
Tell me.
things.
Tell me. What is it?
And the thing I'm not doing, I already told you.
Okay, so you don't want to tell me? You don't want to tell me, that's fine.
All right, fine, I won't tell you.
Okay,
you
don't tell me.
tell me.
No. You tell me.
It's his own religion.
Okay, so now.
He won't tell me his own religion.
Chris,
All right, okay.
so which scholar takes one date from this range?
Because of the date of the Uthmanic copy, this is difficult because it falls outside that range given by the carbon dating. This makes it problematic because if you take any point within that range, you're now having to say that there is a copy of the Quran that predates the Uthmanic copy, which does not accord with the traditional Islamic view. That's my argument. Okay. Now,
So, wait. I'm
argument.
going to address your argument. Firstly, how can I address an argument which is faulty? Let me tell you
Why
why.
is it?
I'm going to tell you.
Mate, it took us half an hour.
Look, I'm going to tell you what's faulty. You have just demonstrated that you have no understanding of what radiocarbon dating is. Now let me tell you why.
Dude, you didn't know what part is. Why are we doing this
Hang on.
attack? Why are you attacking?
Wait, I'm
Why
going to
are you
demonstrate to
attacking
you.
my character?
I'm not attacking your character.
Logic.
I'm
Logic and
demonstrating
reason.
you're ignorant about it.
Right, so again, attacking my character.
That's not attacking character.
You're literally-
If you demonstrate I don't know something about something, doesn't mean you're attacking my character.
Of course it does. You're saying that you won't debate me because you're saying I don't know enough. That's an attack on my character.
No, that's not
Address
an
my
attack on
arguments.
anything.
Yes, it
So here it is. So now, so tell me again, name me one scholar that you remember, or you can pull up, that can take one. So they take, okay, I'm going to take the date.
the ranges.
Sorry.
Do you know the ranges?
I'm speaking now. Name me one scholar who can say, I'm going to take the date of 650 as the date of that manuscript. Just one date. Wait. Remember what he said? You can take anything on that range, right? Right.
That's not in the range.
Wait.
Do you know what the ranges are?
Imagine you have 500 and 700.
He's never answered.
Listen,
Is it actually answer the question?
do you answer it? Give me the range. No,
I'm not good. No, he's asking me for the range.
Okay, let me give you the range. Okay, hypothetically, if you have a manuscript dated between 500 and 700,
No, tell me the range of the carbon dating.
listen, Chris.
Tell me the
Listen, I'm establishing principles.
He's establishing principles.
Yes. So if you have a manuscript range between 500 and 700,
That's not the carbon dating.
You said you weren't going to ask
Go on, tell me.
20 minutes ago.
Do you know carbon dating? Do you know this topic?
20 minutes ago.
Given that you didn't know what palimpsest is.
when did you say you know what palimpsest?
I had to tell you.
No, I asked you to define it. Does that mean I didn't know? When a teacher asks you what is a palimpsest, Chris says the teacher doesn't know. Well done.
I have no idea. I have to ask the student for the answer.
Chris, now, when you have a manuscript, give me a dating of any manuscript. Give me the range of any manuscript. Hang on, give me dating of any range. Give me any range. Go.
I'm going to tell you. You should already know because you're supposed
Listen,
to.
I am going to demonstrate
Even
to
though you
you.
attacked my parents.
Chris, if you have a range,
Don't say my name. Tell me the range.
Chris, a scholar.
Those cameras. Don't get your phone out.
No, I want to show you. I want to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video. You know, video I'm going to
He's got his
show.
phone out now. I'm going to tell him. Listen.
Wait.
What are you Googling?
I'm not Googling. So now, this is about radiocarbon dating, people. Look, listen. Silence,
Is this
please,
your
silence.
video?
No, it's not my video. It's quiet. So now, I'm going to show it to
Appealing
you.
to scholars because he himself admits he is lacking in
No.
knowledge.
I am going to now,
Apparently, I don't know enough.
Chris, for the record, I am going to get the scholars refuting you. I'm going to get the scholars refuting you.
Doing what?
Refuting your
I have
ignorance.
all I've literally said is that here are the dates for the particular conversation.
Which is what?
I'm not telling you because I don't think you know.
Oh, you don't remember?
I've literally said it like 3 times.
What was it? What was it?
You don't know.
Don't tell me what was it.
He's telling me I'm
Chris,
ignorant.
do you know how to sit? And do you know Gabriel?
Why do you keep asking him, do you know?
You can't answer my questions, so I should answer your questions.
Those of you,
Do you know? He asked you a question.
those of you who are interested in radiocarbon dating, ICSA, International Quranic Studies Association, invited a scholar, and invited by who? Gabriel Said Reynolds, a Christian scholar. I'm addressing. Listen carefully, I'm addressing. And for people like yourselves, very knowledgeable, egotistic, right? Good. People like
You're apparently amazing up there.
Listen.
I don't know what a palimpsest is.
Chris, listen. He's addressing the precise question that I was addressing. But do you know which date we take? You said there are some scholars who will take one particular date in the middle or anywhere in the range. Did you not say that?
It's important to understand.
Did you not say that?
My argument is this. The Uthmanic copy came about at a particular time.
We are talking about-
Listen, it's important. But the dating does not cover that. In other words, if you accept the carbon dating, you have to accept that there were copies of the Quran that came about before the Uthmanic recension. That is my argument.
In response,
Address that. No,
I'll address it. I'll address it. I'll address it. Listen.
Finally.
What I'm addressing is the principle. Yes, I'll address it. Firstly, the manuscripts that you're referring to is which one? Which one?
Of what surahs? I've said it many times.
Wait.
What surahs? Yes, that's one. What are the others?
Oh, so it's dated. Right.
What's the others?
Do you know?
What's the others?
Do you know which labs they're dated in?
I don't think he actually knows.
Okay. Do you know which labs dated them?
Dude,
Do you know this?
You-
What do you know?
I can ask
What
you.
do you know?
They were
do you know?
dated. They were dated by Leon.
What
Wait.
surahs are they?
I'm going to tell you.
tell me now.
Hang on. The manuscripts that we are talking about, dated by Oxford.
Okay, that's not an answer to my question.
Who dated them?
That's not an answer to my question. What surahs are we talking
You tell
about?
me. You tell me. Tell me.
Why don't you answer the question?
Is this the best you have?
You tell me. Wait. You tell me. Yeah.
No, you tell him.
I I have already mentioned many times in this debate. Rewind the camera when I mention the source. Rewind the camera.
Okay. So, you know what? I will find out later when I rewind. But what I want to ask you is, which labs dated it? Chris, I'm asking you a question. Which labs dated it?
Why is it I have to jump to your groups? And when I ask you questions about it,
In the principle of radiocarbon dating, do you know it's important to know which labs dated
I
it?
think you showed you yourself.
Do you know it's important to know which labs dated it?
You don't know when it was manufactured. You don't know particular source.
Did I ever say I didn't know?
I'm asking you, do you know?
Did I ask? I do know.
You do know, you tell me.
Before I tell you,
Okay, he's going to tell me. Okay, he's going to tell me.
is it important to know which labs dates which manuscripts?
Is it important to know which source from the Birmingham?
How does a content of a surah determine the age of a manuscript? Tell me.
Well, because those particular stories have particular contents in it, which copies previous stories found in the documents. Anyway,
Even if it's surah 8, even if it was surah 18, even if it's surah 18,
which one?
hey, listen. What I'm telling you,
Tell me this one.
whenever we are dating a manuscript, hang on, whenever we're dating manuscripts, I'm asking you, is it important to know which labs dated it and why?
Why is that relevant to what I'm asking?
I'll tell you. Because if you have a very bad laboratory, and it doesn't have the right quality standards,
You reject the common dating.
hey, listen. If you have a bad lab and it has no good quality standards, then this dating, the results will be rejected by scholars.
Do you reject the results?
Listen,
Very simple question.
the results.
Do you reject the results?
I'm going to answer.
Mate, you've been answering for this entire time, but you still haven't answered.
If you're, I'll tell you.
Well, how long?
So,
It's been like,
hang
how
on,
long has it been?
Be patient then. So we have examples.
You don't want to debate.
So now, a particular manuscript, please, a particular manuscript, for example, of Sana, is dated.
Yes.
And it has several date ranges. Right. Know which labs dated it?
About the manuscript.
Which labs dated it?
Rough dating of which
Do you know which labs dated
Why
it?
is that relevant?
Because, as I mentioned to you, the quality doing the
Do you reject the dating? Or you do?
scholars
I
do.
want to know your argument.
Okay, my argument is
Okay, fine.
the scholars will reject the dating if it's not coming from a reputable lab with good quality standards.
So you reject the Birmingham portfolio.
For example, when we dated the Sana manuscripts by Chris, I'm telling you, learn something now.
Yes
Learn
or no?
something now.
It's
By
a yes or no
Oxford,
answer.
by Zurich, by Lyon,
Mate, it doesn't matter. Answer my
by
question.
Arizona. Do you know what scholars say? The scholars say there are datings produced by, for example, Lyon, which gives you an earlier dating due to contamination. Were you aware of that?
Are you aware of the poems?
Are you aware of that? Are you aware of what I'm saying?
You're not aware of the particular story.
Are you aware of what
What
I
is
told
it?
you?
Okay, your argument is that you reject the dating of the
No, not me personally. The scholars.
He's not even making
The
an argument.
scholars-
What are you even arguing about?
The scholars. Now,
So do you accept what those say?
listen carefully, first.
Do you accept what they say?
Carefully, Chris. So now tell me, on the radiocarbon dating,
Slowest falling off a cliff I've ever seen.
radiocarbon dating, can we take the date in the middle?
Why are you obsessed with it?
Can we take it in the middle?
You can take any date at any point between the two ranges.
Even in the middle, yeah?
If you want to. You take an average.
Right. So good. So now this is what I'm learning from you is this.
Okay, and you know how that relates to my argument.
Sorry, I'll tell you why. So now Chris is telling us we can have a date in the middle or even an average to take the debate. Now, according to the scholars, what is the probability of that date being correct if it's exactly in the middle, average? Probability.
Is that you only accept the carbon dating, the probability from that metric alone of the dating of that particular object.
Do you know what a binomial distribution is?
Do you know concept? Mate, I can ask you
Do
many
you know it?
questions.
Do you know?
What When was Uthman's copy? When was Uthman's copy? How many years?
Okay, let me now show it to you. Wait. Do you know what this is, right?
Yes.
This is a curve described as what?
Standard deviation.
Right, standard deviation.
Right, okay, thank you.
What is the probability that a particular data can
Take the one with
wait.
Do you
I'm
know
going to ask
the
you.
extremes of a standard deviation?
Wait.
Do you understand this?
I'm going to ask you a question, right? Good.
Dude, why are you asking me questions? Why are you just
So,
debating me?
is the radiocarbon dating using this principle?
You understand?
Do we radiocarbon date using this principle?
What I understand is this.
Answer the question.
Listen, you can take any range of
Can you
a
answer the
date.
question?
I literally am, but you don't let me answer.
Can we take, do we use this principle first of all? Okay, good.
But you can also
Take the
pick
point.
any date between the early and the ending date.
Okay.
One measure the dating of the object.
Okay,
You understand?
No, I don't. I don't. Tell you why I don't. If you understood anything about stats and this binary distribution curve, wait.
I don't know. It's
Radiocarbon dating.
What is about radiocarbon data?
It is.
Right, okay,
Precisely.
so I gave you 2 dates, which you forgot.
Wait. No, I've not finished yet.
No, you started.
What is the probability? You're not making Okay, it's okay, brother. Chris, what is the probability of an actual date of a manuscript falling at the middle? Probability from 1% to 100%.
You don't need to know that. All I need to
I'm asking you, what
all
is
I
scholar
need
say?
to know
What
is
is
that the
scholar say?
radiocarbon dates that are given are the more likely probability that it falls from those dates. So you can take a point within those dates and it'll be acceptable in scholarship. Right. Now, let's talk about the consequences of that.
I am saying.
Let's talk about the consequences of that. Listen, this is my argument. This is my listen.
You have to finish.
My argument. The dates that are given is very
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Carry on.
So the problem is the Uthman copy. When Uthman standardized the Quran into a Croatian dialect, the problem is, and I said it at the times now, the dating when Islam says that happened falls outside this range. Do you understand? That's a problem because that means you have Qurans that were compiled before the Uthmanic Codex. This is why Islamic scholars will basically say this is a problem. We don't want to say that this came before the Uthmanic period because otherwise you have to say that the Quran existed before Uthman's time. That's the issue.
Okay,
That's
good.
it. Now listen to his amazing
Can I respond?
rebuttal.
No.
There is an attack on my character.
Okay, listen.
Or asking me a question.
Now, listen to it. Principle of radiocarbon dating.
Oh my God! Answer
Do you
the
reject what I
question.
said?
Are you going to let him
do
respond?
that.
Do you reject what I say? Do you reject what I say?
Is he now rude interrupting me? Is he rude?
I just want to know.
Continually, all the
Would you call him rude now? Would you call him rude?
do it all the
Would you call him rude? Look at the double standard. Note all of that. Look at the double standard. He would not
You
call
are
him
an
rude.
arrogant numpty.
Thank you.
You barrage him with questions. You don't even give him a chance.
Now
to
we know
answer,
which side you're
and
on.
You refuse
Good.
to answer any of
I'm
his
going to
questions.
answer. I'm going to answer. Don't interrupt.
You want to listen now?
Don't interrupt.
Let them
debate now.
You don't answer questions. You don't give him a
So
chance.
because you say, because
don't answer any of his
see you
questions.
later. So now you're saying, in relation to the question,
Try answering some of his questions, man. You don't so arrogant. Try answering a question.
You asked.
Don't answer questions.
You asked in relation to the question that I asked you, right? Remember the question I asked you?
I made an argument.
Okay, your argument is because this dating falls outside the range that Islamic tradition says when.
So I'm just going. I'm good.
That's called positive.
I don't want you to.
Encouraging
I want you to
Okay,
be
I'm doing it to
listening.
encourage you. All right.
Basic.
I don't want your encouragement. Thank
Well,
you.
you're having difficulty saying it.
Oh yes. Oh, difficulty. So
listen to-
because your argument is this, because the dating range falls outside a time earlier than even the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's not my argument.
Listen, okay. Because the dating falls outside the range when traditionally the Uthmanic manuscript is believed to have been written, Islamic scholars are having a doubt about it and responding differently. My counter response is, who cares about Islamic scholarship? We are interested in, listen, we are interested in, we are
Who cares
in,
about Islamic scholars?
we are interested what exactly is
There is
Scott- interrupting. No, no. Why are you interrupting me? Why are you interrupting me?
Because
Don't be rude. No, I don't want you to.
Interrupt.
Patient and listen. Don't interrupt. Okay? Be civilized. Right. Thank you. Thank you. So now we have people. Okay, so you're not helping. Making noise. No, I don't. Thank you. Right. So what I'm saying is this. Please, no talking. Thank you. So scholars have given their response on the datings, which perhaps you didn't know. Did they talk about? Let me ask you now in return. Did they talk about? Do we need to look at the labs that dated it? How accuracy, how precise? Two things, accuracy and precision. Wait, I'm not finished. When I finish, you answer. Accuracy and precision of the dating, right? Accuracy and precision of the data. And the quality control standards that we have in those labs. If this is the case, what dating do they favor scientifically because of the issues at hand? Not because, traditional dating of Uthmanic manuscript is a different date, so we must now somehow do. No, I'm talking about the dating itself are using radiocarbon dating principles. So when I asked you, you said, let me finish. When we have a binomial distribution or a unimodal, bimodal, whatever distribution, let me get a clarification.
No, that doesn't solve the issue.
Wait, it does. I'll tell you why. Because that demonstrates how much you know about the subject matter. So, what is the probability of a data point, like a certain date of a manuscript? Let me finish. I'm not finished. I want you to hear my question. Okay, I want you to listen to the question and then answer, right? So, say this is a date range of a Quranic manuscript, right? Listen, I don't want you to say anything. I want you to listen. Imagine that is the dating of the Birmingham manuscript, a date range. Wait. Why are you talking when I'm saying don't talk?
Because he's learning. I want to know.
No, I'm going to let you speak when I finish. Does that make sense to you?
This is how you lead people into giving
No. Because I want to ask a specific question without any interruption. I'm not willing to answer. So, according to scholars who knows about carbon dating, what is the probability? Listen carefully. What is the probability of a data point, like a range, not a range, a date a particular manuscript was scribed, if they were to take the point here in the middle? Yeah? What do you call that point in the middle? No, in the middle of the curve, it's called.
I didn't take what's called.
Do you know what it is?
I didn't take statistics.
So you don't know anything. Okay, you don't know.
I understand standard deviation.
Yeah. But
I'm not an expert.
We're not talking about being expert.
So you don't bring up a graph and I'll explain the graph.
I didn't say explain the graph.
You're literally like, what does this mean? What is the probability of this?
So
you don't even know how it relates to the Birmingham portfolio.
Chris, listen.
Okay, what dates the Birmingham portfolio?
Chris, the probability of a data point on the middle, do you know how much percentage that? Yes. Wrong, try again. Try. I'll give you 5 minutes.
Why am I guessing, dude?
Do you know?
I've already told you I don't.
So you don't know.
So now,
when people,
I literally said I'm not an expert in statistics.
Good. So when people, okay.
So how is that relevant to anything I just said?
Stop. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
When we radiocarbon date Quranic manuscripts, they fall in this kind of curves. Now, do scholars take a point like in the middle of the two dates? You said some scholars do. Right. I am telling you now and telling everyone else, no scholar, no, hear me word, N-O, no, zilch, zero scholar on planet Earth would take the middle date. Do you know why? You don't know why. Let me tell you now a little bit. Wait, yep. Literally. My argument was you haven't got a clue about radiocarbon dating, and I'm establishing that. The probability of
standard deviation.
The probability of a date point, a date to fall in the middle is not 100%, not 50%.
I don't even know if you reject the actual date.
Chris, listen, I'm educating you now.
Dude,
I'm educating you.
What is the actual date?
I am educating you. So let me finish. Let me finish. The probability, listen, let me show you something. The probability a particular manuscript falls within this date, two dates, right? One on the left, on the right, is how much?
I don't know, you tell me.
Do you know?
Is it more probable than not?
Do you know?
Is it more probable than not?
No. Question. Do you know?
It is more probable than not that it's data.
What is the probability?
Why? The point of radiocarbon data, namely, that you get range based off the amount of carbon. Yes,
When we range it, Chris, now I'm telling you now. When we range,
explain it to you. I've been doing this for time.
You're the cameraman.
So let's, based off those dates,
Wait.
you would then be able to say with more probability than not that it falls within that date.
When you have this curve,
That's what scholars do.
when you have this curve, do you know what 1 sigma and 2 sigma is?
Wait.
Do you know? Either you know or you don't.
Okay, so do you know the dates?
Do you know the 1 sigma
Do you
and
know
2
the
sigma?
dates?
Do you know the 1 sigma and 2
doesn't
sigma
know the
variation?
dates. I've mentioned it many times.
Do
this
you
debate.
know the 1 sigma and 2 sigma
Do you
dates?
know the dates given for the Birmingham portfolio?
I am asking you the
do
1
that.
sigma. Look, okay, read it.
I don't know.
He asked you a question. You
What
have
does
to
this
answer
mean?
it.
I don't think you know. I think that's honest.
Look,
I think
when
what
we
you've
look
done
at
is you've Googled
Chris,
standard deviation.
I don't Google it, my friend. We have a whole paper.
got
We have a whole paper on Islamic awareness.
You're an expert of statistics.
Listen, let me
No,
tell
you're
you. If you go to IslamicAwareness.org, you'll find a paper Radiocarbon dating of Quranic
they know, but
manuscripts.
not you.
And
you doesn't know.
and we laid out all the necessary principles that you need to understand radiocarbon
Okay,
dating.
but do you actually disagree with the dating?
Wait.
Do you disagree
Next
with the dating?
question. Next question, Chris. On this point, when we talk about 1 sigma variation and 2 sigma variation, let me tell you what it means. We have this probability of getting this particular. Let me
This
finish.
is so he can look
Let me
smart
finish.
rather than
Let me
actually
finish.
dressing up.
Let me finish. I'm educating you something that you thought you knew.
If you don't tell me, I'm just going to say that you don't know.
Chris.
And on camera, you've been shown not
The
to know.
probability.
Just tell me.
The probability.
Simple. Here's some basic questions for understanding.
probability.
Whether Mansur knows what he's talking about.
proba-
Number one.
Chris.
How many
Chris.
surahs and what surahs are there in the
Chris.
Birmingham portfolio?
Chris, listen.
Number two. When is the dating, the early dating, the late dating for the Birmingham portfolio? Tell me. Number three. When was the Uthmanic copy issued? When was it compiled? If you don't know the answers to those questions, you don't know what you're talking
Remember
about.
the discussion.
You don't know the answer.
The discussion.
Give me an answer. An answer.
Chris.
If you don't do it in 10 seconds, I'm going to say you don't know.
You can say whatever you like, Chris.
No.
Wait.
Mansur,
So
that's
the
all.
discussion.
Dawa shuffle.
Right, Chris. Okay. So the
Dawa
discussion.
shuffle.
Okay, thank you. So the discussion
You're
was.
going to ask me more questions.
I'm going to stick to what I was asking.
No.
So the discussion
What
was.
gone nowhere.
I'm
Why
speaking
don't
now.
you answer that
has
and then
nothing to do with
I am
Moses.
speaking.
You understand?
I am speaking.
You
He asked
understand?
you three
Right, Chris.
questions.
The discussion was whether you know anything about the subject matter of law.
And we've identified
So
that you
far,
also don't know what to say.
look. You can identify anything about me, no problem.
Yeah, but you're the one
But
who's
the question
attacking my character.
is whether you know anything about
Answer
it.
the three questions.
Answer those 3 questions. Another question. You understand?
It's very simple.
Probability. Look at the hecklers. The probability. Okay, don't be heckler. I'm answering now.
Oh, your answer.
The
Okay.
probability of any
That's
manuscript.
not my answer. That's not the questions I asked.
Why interrupt?
What are the
Why
answers?
interrupt?
Because you
I
haven't
answer the way I like. Not the way you
He's
like.
answering though. He wanted to know the probability.
That's your
The
way.
probability of any
No,
manuscript.
that's not what I asked.
Look at this
Answer the
individual.
questions I asked. You
Chris.
didn't know what a pollen test was.
Chris,
You just
did I say I didn't know?
I had to tell you. You were like, oh, you told me. You told me.
No, did I say I didn't know?
You had to ask
Did
me.
I say I didn't know?
I asked him if you could
Did
tell
I
me.
say I didn't know?
Like in the same
Did I say I didn't know? Right. So now,
Okay, go on. Go on. Tell me the date.
Chris,
Tell me the date.
Chris,
Tell me
as
the
I'm
basic.
establishing,
What is the date?
okay, I'm going to carry on talking anyway if you don't let me answer.
No, if you're not answering,
If you're not going to let me answer, I'm going to talk anyway.
Then you have
So I
lost
was
the
establishing.
debate. You've lost the debate because you can't
Hold on,
answer.
good after you. So now,
It's you who doesn't understand.
okay, you know what? Good. So now, those of you who are listening, and you, when we talk about radiocarbon dating, the
It's
reasons.
given up. It's given up.
Okay, see you later. See you later.
You don't know.
See you later. You see you later. To all those cameras who are watching, right? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. I don't want to say anymore.
You have not
Okay,
explained.
so now I'm going to explain to you, okay, people? Okay.
Answer my question.
When we talk about radiocarbon dating, the reason why we have a curve and ranges is because we want to know the probability of a particular manuscript falling within range. Because when we look at actual dating of...
So do you reject then the actual data?
Okay, can we just move forward here? Can we just move forward? And I'm not having a I'm not talking to you. Come this way. Carry on. Carry on. See you later. So now, so what we have is this. When we have radiocarbon dating, we know when we look at the datings, because of the nature of how we establish radiocarbon dating, there's always going to be 2 dates, plus minus. Because when we come to standard deviation, there's always going to be plus this number of years and minus this number of years. You'll always have a distribution curve. The probability of a particular manuscript falling under this range is what we say, does it fall within this range by 95% probability, 66% probability, or 68% probability? We identify these as 1 sigma, 2 sigma variations. So to be precise, when we have 1 sigma variation, it's 68% probability. When we have 3 sigma variations, it's actually 99% probability. What it means is this. A manuscript, we have 99% probability that the date of that manuscript within this range. The more you narrow this range, the probability gets less and less and less and less. So you have 99%, 68%, and so on and so forth. At a point when those individuals who have no knowledge about radiocarbon dating, they said, like his teacher, J. Smith, oh, we'll take the average in the middle. The probability of getting the average in the middle is almost 0%. Almost 0%. That means to say that particular manuscript can be confidently believed to have been scribed on that date, your probability is almost 0%. That is the level of ignorance these people have. No wonder Muslims in this park, we avoid talking to these egotistical individuals because they have no clue. When I asked him 3 questions only about radiocarbon dating principles, what do we mean by BP dating? Why do we take the year 1950 as a standard? What is the difference between 1 sigma and 2 sigma variations? And do we take the average, mean, the median? Which date do we take? Do you remember what he said? Oh, we can just take any date in the middle. That's what scholars do. No scholar will do that because he would not be a scholar. Everyone will criticize him. He hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. That's scholarship. So recently, this question was put to a scholar called Haytham Sidki by Professor Gabriel Said Reynolds. These people don't learn. So I encourage them to go to his Gabriel Said Reynolds YouTube channel, Exploring the Bible and the Quran, and he answers it there from Haytham Sidki, clearly. I was going to play the clip, of course it's too noisy. So now we establish the reasons why Muslims boycott certain egotistical individuals. Yeah? They think they know. But the whole world now will know whether these individuals know about the subject matter or not. This debate, initially I wanted to be 5 minutes, only to establish what? That this guy knows about the subject matter. What did I demonstrate? I demonstrated without a shadow of doubt. He did not know any of these, of the subject matter. And this is one subject. If he talks about anything else, you can do the same. This guy thinks he's a hero of the Christians in Speaker's Corner. But the reasons why we don't talk to them is because you're wasting your time with someone who doesn't even know what he's talking about, bananas or potatoes. When you're talking about philosophy, and he's talking about banana. Oh, I eat banana because it's so sweet. And when you talk about philosophy, for example. So no decent, reasonable, rational, sane individual will waste their time talking to people like that. That is why Muslims in Speaker's Corner, we try to focus our attention to people who are sincere, genuine, and they at least know what we're talking about. If I was going to talk to you, and I know you have no idea of the subject matter, I'm not going to just keep on talking on the subject matter because you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about. You would be hearing Greek if you didn't know anything about the subject matter. So it is important that when you have a debate, your opponent knows about the subject. How can you debate an opponent who doesn't even know the difference between A and Z? That is why people, Muslims, for a reason, do not talk to these egotistical evangelists. That's the main reason. Did I not debate with their scholars, their prophets, their heroes in Speaker's Corner? Who have I avoided? Have I avoided anyone debating anyone in Speaker's Corner? Any individuals they think is a hero, I've debated them. But I'm not being egotistical. I have debated them, and you go and watch the debate. You make the judgment. And what was the true reality of the subject matter that was debated? Whether it was the Quran or the Bible or anything else. You be the judge. Based on what? Based on critical thinking. We want you to be critical thinkers when you analyze anything that you see in Speaker's Corner. Because we know there are certain crowd who believe in anything. If you believe God is a tomato, you'll say, yeah, hallelujah, God is a tomato. That is the level of people's blind faith and blind following. But Muslims are telling you to be critical thinkers. Because critical thinking is going to save you from the hellfire. The hellfire prepared for those arrogant and stubborn people like you have witnessed. Anyone who's stubborn and arrogant wants to deny the truth knowing it, there you go. You deal with it in the day of judgment. So what we've established then again, just to see, in Speaker's Corner, there are reasons why Muslim speakers avoid certain fruitcakes and big heads, because they're not worth our time. We don't want to waste our time on people who are not going to be reasonable. You need to be reasonable to have a discussion with Muslims. If you're unreasonable, like this guy earlier on, rewind the tape and watch. He says, I'm crazy. He's talking about blah, 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 all this. And I asked him, do you know what it means? He said, I don't. It's coming out from my, I'm crazy. By the self-confession. And you want to talk to people like that? Seriously? You want to speak to people who are crazy by their own admission? So this is why it's important. Take note, people. You think Muslims somehow are so afraid to talk with these individuals? Arrange a university debate. Professors and scholars and students on that debate hall. We will be happy to debate any of you. But you are not able to debate us in university setting, in an educational establishment. We know that. Because you will be seen as a fool by your own community. Like today, that will be established. That you don't know anything about radiocarbon dating, and you are now saying, oh, Mansur doesn't know about which manuscript, which surah, what's the Uthmanic. Am I going to just spoon feed him? I have a website called IslamicAwareness.org with our brothers and friends, Dr. Saifullah. We have put up the material there for your consumption, which is used by scholars themselves about Quranic manuscripts, about radiocarbon dating of Quranic manuscripts, and so on. And now you're telling me we don't know our subject matter? Dream on. Dream on. So if you don't want to learn from the academics that we have put the documents there in our website. They will be absolutely abundantly clear to you that your dreams will be shattered. So you bring in all these things, your heroes. Those of you who are Christians and are watching this on Muslim channels, this is a message to you. You are fanboys of your speakers. Do these things. Your speaker today said you can take any date within the range. Go and ask a scholar. Find a scholar on manuscripts, experts in radiocarbon dating, whether biblical or Quranic. Don't have to be Muslim scholar. Go find a Christian scholar or an atheist, liberal, secular scholar and ask them that question. Can we do that? Do you as scholars do that? And perhaps then you will learn your boy that you are now putting to represent you is a fool. He's not representing you because you can be represented by a fool. So go and ask about radiocarbon dating. Do you know why he didn't answer any of these questions? Because now, next time, he will say, I know because it's in Google up. But next time, I'm going to ask him a different set of questions to see whether he really understands if he ever comes along, him or any of his Christian speakers in Speaker's Corner. I will ask you questions on subject matter to understand whether you know about it or not, something that you can't Google it. You can't simply just go and Google it, because you won't find it in Google. That will establish whether you know about the subject matter or not. And yet, you want to debate Muslims? Dream on. So, Christians, when it comes to Islam, you know in your heart the Quran is preserved. You know it. So does the Western scholarship. But do you know why you want to talk about this? It's a deflection. You want to deflect it from your corrupt biblical transmission history. Because you don't know the Bible that you read is indeed preserved or not. The manuscript tradition that you have is so varied, so different. If you look at the gospel ending of Mark, for example, where did Mark end his gospel? Verse 8, verse 20, verse 35, where? Depends on which manuscript that you consult. Codex Washingtoniensis is a 5th century manuscript, which is a long ending. Did Mark write that? You know that he didn't. What would you say? Christian forgery. So Christians were forging books and calling them inspired by God. So you are establishing that there were mass scale distortion and alteration, corruption and forgery of the Bible by Christians themselves. They wrote the Gospel of the Ebionites. It's not in your Bible, is it? They wrote the Gospel of Infancy. It's not in your Bible, is it? They wrote the Gospel of Judas, Gospel of many Gospel, Mary, Gospel of Infancy. They wrote many other Gospels which are not within your 4 Gospel New Testament canon. What are you telling us about these Gospels? They were authored by people who were Christians, but they forged it in the name of God. Mass scale forgery. Your Christian people were forging, tampering, claiming that this is the book of God. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Historically established. No wonder, because of now your defeat in accepting this point, you have nowhere to now go. How can I be certain about the teaching of Christ? Because I don't know which gospel is true. You are saying maybe the Quran has the same problem. The Quran hasn't got the same problem. The Quran that we believe in is the Quran that is believed by every Muslim. Whether they're Sunnis or Shias, Sufis or otherwise. We believe in that Quran. That is the level of preservation of our book. So if you're a Christian, you want to know about Islam, go and learn about it, rather than being spoon-fed misinformation, straw-manning our book and our faith by your Christian, foolish individual representing you in the Speaker's Corner. If you don't accept my word, go and find out about the carbon dating that I talked about. Why did he not answer any of the questions I asked? Simple. If you knew about it, you should have said so. Instead, he's asking me. I wasn't there, the one to be challenged about, do I know the subject matter? I never claimed that I know the subject matter of X, Y, and Z. I was disputing and challenging that this individual, the fool, didn't know anything about the subject matter. And I established that. Because if he answered it, he would have said, I do know. I do know. But did he answer? He didn't answer. What does it tell you? He knows about it? Go and watch some of his debates with other Muslims beforehand and look at the errors he's making about radiocarbon dating, like he did today. No shame. And being on camera telling the whole world, you can take any date in the middle, anywhere. Even alone, that point alone, your fanboy is destroyed. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. This is how the kufr, the disbelief, is destroyed like that. If you're sincere, go watch someone else. If you're sincere, go read about it. Then you will understand and appreciate where we are coming from. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All our Muslim brothers and sisters, and thank you And you're more than welcome, our friends who are not Muslims, you're more than welcome to watch us in Outweighs. This is me and Hashim's channel, and all the other Muslim channels that is recorded.